Okay, check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
So both of your presentation mentioned saturation diving and how it has been a game changer for the deep sea exploration and offshore work as well. But it also comes with significant...
Okay, so it's a very interesting question, and especially with the last part with regards to risk. Statistically now, saturation diving is one of the safest forms of diving. It went through a bad phase at the beginning when it was being developed in the late 60s, early 70s, but then organisations that control legislation learned from the mistakes, like the aircraft industry do with failure mode analysis, and they improved. And so now routine oil and gas saturation diving is extremely safe, primary, secondary and tertiary. So really we're using those known safety parameters, and our aim with DEEP, and I think it's exactly the same with PROTEUS, is to improve on them and make them safer.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I mean, the technology has changed so much, and it's like any diving technology. As long as you do it thoughtfully and carefully, you're minimizing risk, but you're not getting rid of it. I mean, that's part of the allure, for example, to the space industry, is they want to train people under genuine risk, and saturation diving does present some risk, but the trade-offs are just so huge. I mean, I can tell you from a science perspective, we talk a lot about the extended bottom time, but the ability to do things like running delicate instrumentation out of the habitat while you are continuously recording is just phenomenal. I did a SAT mission in Aquarius once where we were looking at oxygen levels on corals, and so we had giant barrels of oxygenated water that we were running across corals and then looking at the rates of photosynthesis. So there's no way you could do that from the surface. There's no way you could do it with a rebreather, or it wouldn't buy you anything in shallow water. And so it's controlled risk like anything else, and part of that depends on the depth that you're at, and I'm confident that we'll be able to pull this off safely. Yeah.
Great. Is there anything else?
I know you may not be able to answer this, but where did the dream for DEEP come from?
So a lot of people, we were talking about this as we were walking over here, Brian and myself. A lot of people have these conspiracy theories of why we've been in secrecy mode for the last 2 years, and it's nothing nefarious. We're not like going to make a base on the bottom and take over the world. It's purely IP protection. So we don't want to tell people what we're going to do, so that then that could be stolen and someone else beats it to it. We also don't want to tell people what we're going to do, because our plan is so audacious. You can tell it to people and like, no, that's impossible. We want to tell them when we've done it. So the reason we launched 4 weeks ago is because all our patents for the Sentinel system are now in place. So the reason I only had one slide on our submersibles is that is our new secrecy area where we're working on that. What I can say is we just recently hosted a 4-day submersible safety group, independent of DEEP, where we invited the submersible community worldwide to come together and go, okay, in light of recent events, how can we make this community safer, the product safer, the training safer, because the goal is for both of our missions is prevention rather than cure. We don't want problems and accidents. We want every person to be safe with multiple levels of backup to achieve that, whether it's in a submersible, the saturation system, or outside diving.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome.
So,
Thank you so much. Unless you want to keep going.
I'm happy,
That's good.
Thank you
All right,
very much.
thanks.